Salutations and greetings, YouTube. Thanks for coming back for part 2. So we left off. Doctor, I'm afraid this is the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see this list fade over the years. Years? What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe it would be best if you don't return to your old school.
What? But I love that school! Nobody cares about me there, but I still want to go back!
Please calm down, Hiso. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down? The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever of my concern shows, it's ignored. Hiso, you're just sick. We're parents. We need to deal with some lame kid that we had that has arrhythmia. You're our problem, not yours. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy. It specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What? Am I? All I have is arrhythmia. It's not like I have some heart condition that's gonna kill me if I get too worked up or anything. It has a 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids, man. Don't try to disguise that fact. I don't be around those crazy people. They're disabled. I'm normal. This guy's really weird. I mean, I guess he's upset because he's got this arrhythmia thing, but like, what's he expect, right? I don't know. I wouldn't be that upset if I had arrhythmia. If I ever was told I only have a couple years to live, I think that's sort of free. You're like, okay, listen, you're gonna live about 80 to 90 years. In that time, you've got to go to school, get a job, marry, and have a bunch of kids. Have a mortgage and a house and all that. And you've got to do that, or else you aren't respected in society. If you only have a couple years to live, then it's like, oh, you're going traveling, that's so great. You don't have lots of time, so you should spend it all enjoying your life. If it was that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't have to make the hospital nearby a selling point. Of course, it's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to help homeschool you. We went out there to have a look a couple weeks back. I think you'll like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Sigh. Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day. This is a great opportunity to continue your education. Well, there you go. So he has lots of time to live. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunities. I hate opportunities. I'm mad. You can't give me any opportunities. I need to make my own in this world. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to schools. While it's not the same one, a special school. That's an insult. That's what I want to say. It's a step down from normal school. Because, like I said, I'm not disabled like those crazy people down at your crazy school. It's not what you think. All the schools there are all the schools at the school, all the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father is right. Many of the graduates at the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. It disables you. I really hate that something so important was decided for me, but what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny, I've always thought of life as actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now, something about how I can go back to school anyway, but no, I don't say anything. The fact is that I know now it's futile. Whoa! Whoa! Scroll wheel apparently scrolls through the text, so hold on. I look around the room feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this, but the thought of going to disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think of to get me through this. Or at least I still have something Even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. There you go, man. Chin up. Have a stiff upper lip. Life don't get you down. Life gets you up. It's life, yo. It would be a big mistake to resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try and see what my new life will look like. Ah, there he is. Oh, my heart has a band-aid on it. Oh, it's a metaphor, because he has a heart condition. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Yeah, I hate those gates always acting like they're so tough, like they know it all, like they're the coolest kids on the street, on the block. Red bricks, black wrought iron, gray plaster, assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I hate it when gates don't welcoming. I wondered if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but couldn't really decide. So probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it at a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. So I walked past the main building of Yamaku Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms. There's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like any kinds of grounds a school would have. More like a park with a clean walkway going through trees and the smell of fresh cut grass and all other park-like things. So we got to completely skip winter. He was in there for quite a while, because it's obviously like spring or summer now. Words like clean, hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. I hate the clean. I love the filth of the earth running through my fingers as I dig my way through life. It's probably just because of the hospital talk that he was used to. I shake them off. Ugh. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind leafy canopies. Too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told this is my new school, in the back of my head, it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone here. It's kind of eerie. Eerie. Makes me wish there was somebody here I could anchor myself to. Something tangible instead of having this feeling I stepped into another dimension through that crazy gate. Trees hum with the wind and green hues flashing around me to catch my attention. It makes me think about hospitals again, and how the operating rooms are always painted green, because green is a calming color. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Ellipsis. Only after I stand in front of the hockey main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life to return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous at this realization set in my head, I open the front door. A tall man with bad posture notices me as I enter. We are the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. Tall man! You must be Niki? Nakai. Tall man. So you are. Excellent. I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Mutao. Welcome. We exchange a handshake that's neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The head nurse asks, what would this guy's voice sound like? Nah, the head nurse asked you for a check-in visit. There's no time for that now. No time for formalities. Oh, should I go back later? Yeah, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. I feel like he's going like this a lot. Meh. He's like, throw it away. This conversation just doesn't matter. It's whatever. Just here, you know? Just the guy, just Mutao. Waiting for me? I really don't like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. So nervous! Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying. So, do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Okay, so this kid's feeling really nervous about it, and it sounds like he doesn't want to go, but he said that it was inevitable, so I'm just gonna go with yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. I mean, isn't that normal? Yeah, of course, but not everyone likes to be the center of attention, man. I'm probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give my first impression of myself. Right, but it's no problem. Let's go then. My heart is pounding in my chest, and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow up the teacher up the stairs. The third door down on the third floor is marked with the class room 3-3. Mutao opens, wow, imagine that, the third floor and the third door down is 3-3. Mutao opens the door and enters. Slide. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again. I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Alright, get a grip. Got it. I know that, but there isn't any point in worrying so much about it, so at least not so soon. Okay, so sorry, you can't see me pointing. This girl is the burn victim. I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around partially so I don't have to meet the curious gazes of the students. It's really spacious. The ceiling is unusually high. There's lots of space left between the desks. The entire wall is taken up by blackboards, and high old-fashioned windows make it only seem larger. The students' desks are standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books. Where's the shelf? None of these desks have a shelf. Simple and efficient. I stop walking in front of the classroom and face the other students. They all look normal, like students in any other school. But then, why would they be here? They're probably like me and have something wrong with them, so it's not immediately obvious. Then I notice that one of the girls seems to be missing the thumb of her right hand. It's a little jarring. You can go after this girl or this girl as well. You meet this girl, I think, at some point. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking to you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class. I notice a flash of dark hair and see that someone is looking at me. A girl with really long straight hair is pretty eye-catching. She sees me looking back at her and she covers her face with her hands as if it will make her invisible. There's a boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. If you noticed, he was at the back of the class, but anyway. Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers over the rims of her glasses and then goes back to whatever she's doing. So that would be this chick over here, and this is the deaf girl. Or, no, this is the deaf girl, and this is her translator. She's kind of cute. She's kind of cute. There's also a cheery-looking girl with pink hair sitting next to her. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. Please welcome our newest classmate. He claps his hands, and so does everyone else, except one girl from the first row who has only one hand. I cringe a little, but hide it by showing thanks for the applause I did not deserve. A collective silence tells me that I should open my mouth now. So, I'm Hisao Nakai. After that, my hobbies are reading and soccer. I hope that I can get along well with everyone, although I'm a new student. And after that, I'm being so boring. This is exactly like every self-introduction ever. I should say something more exciting. I end up saying nothing and the teacher picks up from there. Everyone seems satisfied with what little I said, though. A few girls are whispering to each other and throwing glances at me. It could have gone worse. Meh, ellipses. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while my gaze sweeps across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. The first row girl claps it on this round with her one hand on her wrist that ends in a bandaged stump. It makes me feel a little bad. We're gonna be doing some group work today, so that you'll have a chance to talk with anyone. Is that okay with you? Yeah, that's fine with me. That's good. You can work with Hakamichi. She's the class representative. She can explain anything to you that you might not know. And who else would be able to do that better, right? How could I know? The teacher passes out the day's assignments and announces that we'll be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow. The teacher seems to catch my helpless expression. Uta, alright, Hakamichi's right there. Shizune Hakamichi. Everyone knows her. Aren't you an idiot for not automatically knowing her name before I even introduced you to? He calls out her name, and the cute, bubbly-looking girl with bright pink hair and gold eyes waves her hand at me, and I take a seat by her next to the window. Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. What? I was caught off guard by her laughter. It's nice to meet you too, but I'm not Hakamichi. I'm Misa. This is Hakamichi Shi-chan. Giggling, Misa points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. It looks like she's been staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly to show her acknowledgement of my presence, but only barely. She has short yet carefully and neatly brushed hair. A pair of oval-shaped glasses balance on the tip of a dainty nose. The dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. It's nice to meet you. Ellipses. She immediately looks at Misa, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Hakamichi nods and makes a few quick gestures of her own. I start to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying, like, you'll be able to talk to people who better to explain things to you. Misa, I can see you're a little confused, right? But I understand why you would think I was Shi-chan. Shi-chan is deaf, so I'm the person who translates things back and forth for her. I'm like an interpreter! She says it's nice to meet you, too. Ugh, my foot's falling asleep. Ah! Ellipses. You're the new student, aren't you? Well, Shi-chan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he would have been standing up there for no reason, right? He seems like an interesting person, doesn't he? I guess. I like reading and soccer. We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you'd be here today so soon. He-chan, right? He-chan. Yep, it fits, doesn't it? Did I say it out loud? It's just a surprise. I've never liked that nickname. I don't really see how. It fits! You're just like I imagined. Ellipses. Ha! Ha! You look just like Ahi-chan. I wonder why everyone seems to think so. Ellipses. Hakamichi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misa's attention. They gesture back and forth together excitedly, their hands a blur. Misa seems a little overwhelmed. Sorry about that. Shi-chan wants you to know she's the class rep, so if there's anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. Ellipses. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you haven't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misa stumbles with the hard word a bit, making it stick out in her otherwise fluid translation. Thanks. That would be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just kind of came straight to class today. Ellipses. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can where you're going before you go there. Not just at school, either. Always! Even if it's a trip to the convenience store. Really, Shi-chan? Learn about where you're going. I guess I didn't bother to do that or just didn't care enough to go to do so. I didn't look forward to this, even if I committed myself to go along with it half-assedly. But anyway, I don't say anything, and Misa signs something at the end with a shrug. What was